They all thought I was weak. Every laugh, every insult, every small betrayal they threw my way. I felt it all, but I said nothing. My silence was my shield, my secret weapon. People around me didn't know it, but I was watching, waiting, planning. They assumed that because I didn't fight back, I was broken. They assumed I would give up, that I would crumble. But they didn't realize that the quiet ones are often the most dangerous. I sat there every day, pretending to be fragile, pretending to be ignored, while inside I was calculating, observing, and preparing for the moment when everything would turn. This wasn't about revenge at first. It was about proving to myself that I could survive their cruelty, that I could rise without anyone noticing. And that's exactly what I did. Little did they know, the silence they mocked would one day destroy their false sense of security. The more they mocked me, the deeper I buried my feelings. At work, at home, among friends, they laughed at my quietness, called me timid, called me weak. I pretended not to notice, but every comment, every snicker was stored in my mind like fuel. I watched their arrogance grow, their sense of superiority, their smug expressions every time they thought they had won. I learned their routines, their habits, the moments when they were most careless. Every detail mattered. I became invisible in their eyes, the silent observer no one paid attention to. It was exhausting at times, forcing myself to swallow my anger, forcing myself to play the part of the weak one. But I knew this was temporary. My silence wasn't ignorance, it was strategy. And strategy requires patience, planning, and the ability to act at the perfect moment. I started noticing little things about them. How they underestimated me, how they left doors open, how they shared secrets carelessly. I realized that their confidence was their weakness. Their arrogance blinded them to my presence. I didn't interrupt their conversations, didn't challenge their authority, didn't react to their jabs. But I documented everything in my mind, every mistake, every weakness. It was almost like playing chess. Each move was observed, analyzed, waiting for the right opportunity to strike. They were oblivious to my intentions, thinking I was harmless. And that made me even more dangerous. Every small victory they took against me only strengthened my resolve. I was patient, but my patience was deliberate. One day, all of it would come together, and their laughter would stop. People who think silence is weakness are always in for a rude awakening. Every time I was mocked or ignored, I felt a surge of clarity. I realized that silence gives you power. While they spoke, argued, and laughed, I learned, grew, and planned. My mind became sharper, my focus stronger. I didn't waste energy reacting, they did. I didn't need validation, they did. And I waited, knowing that one small action from them could trigger the perfect moment for my response. They never suspected that I was calculating, that every slight they committed was being filed away for the right time. It wasn't hatred, it was precision. It wasn't anger, it was preparation. And this preparation would soon change everything. The opportunity came unexpectedly. A situation arose where they thought they had the upper hand. I could see it in their faces, the confidence, the smirk, the certainty that nothing I did could hurt them. But that was exactly the moment I had been waiting for. I acted calmly, quietly, almost invisibly, making moves they never noticed. The tables began to turn slowly, imperceptibly at first, then unmistakably. Their arrogance, the thing they relied on, became their downfall. They didn't even realize the power of my silence until it was too late. I didn't shout, I didn't confront them directly. I let the situation expose them. And every mistake they made became my leverage. Every misstep a part of their undoing. I won't lie, the satisfaction was subtle yet profound. They were shocked, confused, helpless. They had underestimated me, dismissed me, laughed at me, and now they were paying the price silently. I didn't need to make a scene. I didn't need to humiliate them publicly. My silence, combined with timing and strategy, did the work for me. Watching them scramble, realizing that the person they thought was weak was the one controlling the game, it was almost poetic. I stayed composed, calm, collected, knowing that this quiet revenge was far more powerful than any loud confrontation. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about justice, balance, and finally claiming my own strength without their interference. Looking back, I understood the truth. Silence is underestimated because people fear action they cannot see. People are scared of noise, arguments, fights. They are not afraid of stillness, patience, observation. That stillness is power. That quietness is strategy. And when the right moment comes, Silence can hit harder than anger, louder than shouting, and deeper than betrayal. The irony is that the people who mocked me, the ones who hurt me, were undone not by violence or confrontation, but by stillness. I realized that the world often mistakes activity for strength, noise for intelligence, loudness for dominance. But in reality, the silent, calm, patient one often holds all the power. 300 plus words. By the time they understood what had happened, it was too late. Their control, their arrogance, their sense of superiority, all of it crumbled in the wake of my silence. People who once laughed at me now looked bewildered, ashamed, powerless. And I felt an incredible release, not because of their downfall, but because I had remained true to myself. I didn't compromise my morals. I didn't stoop to their level. I let them reveal themselves. I let them stumble. And through it all, I stayed silent, letting patience, timing, and observation shape my path. It was my quiet strength that finally spoke louder than all their noise. The lesson is simple, yet powerful. Never underestimate the quiet ones. Never assume that silence equals weakness. There is a hidden strength in patience, observation, and restraint. There is power in choosing your battles carefully and waiting for the right moment to act. Life doesn't always reward loudness, aggression, or immediate retaliation. It often rewards those who wait, who plan, who remain calm while others make mistakes. And when the right time comes, the results are undeniable. Silence can protect, silence can teach, and silence can destroy, if wielded wisely. So if you ever find yourself underestimated, mocked, or ignored, remember this story. Stay calm, observe, plan. Don't rush to prove yourself. Let time and patience work in your favor. My story is proof that silence is not weakness, it's strategy. It's strength. It's power that many fail to understand until it's too late. If you enjoyed this Silent Payback story, make sure to subscribe, because the next story will shock you even more. And remember, sometimes saying nothing is the most powerful response you can ever give.